Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today. Chapter 191. Even many evolvers, despite not training, would buy it to study. After all, the Marshall Path evolutionary path is currently ranked 53rd on the Chiquin evolution rankings. In terms of fame, the Marshall Path evolutionary path is bigger, as making a leap of several tens of ranks in a short period of time can further spark the curiosity of other evolvers. Evening. Lin Yuan finished training. He went outside the main building, preparing to dine with his parents and sister. Since Lin Yuan spent most of his time training, even though the family lived in the same estate, they didn't see each other often. Thus, Lin Yuan made it a point to come out for a meal every so often. "Brother, I am now a first-rank evolver," Lin Yi boasted while eating. Actually, Lin Yi becoming a first-rank evolver so quickly was quite normal. When Lin Yuan entered the 4th rank, he had performed marrow cleansing for Lin Yi. With Lin Yuan's strength under marrow cleansing, a strong foundation was laid for Lin Yi. Therefore, no matter which evolution path she took, it was easy, given that the foundation was there. Of course, this ease was only apparent in the 1st rank, at most the 2nd layer. From the 10th or 11th segments of the 2nd layer, she could only rely on herself. "Xiaoyuan, you are not young anymore. Even if your main focus is on the path of evolution, you should also consider having a child," Mrs. Lu Qiong couldn't help but say. Nowadays, because of Lin Yuan, the Lin family had leapt from being an obscure family in Dongning City to becoming one of the top families on Kanglan Star. Mrs. Lu Qiong occasionally also connected to the virtual world, unaware of how many families and powerful forces on Kanglan Star wanted to introduce their precious daughters to Lin Yuan. "There's no rush on this matter, we can talk about it later," Lin Yuan said casually. The powerful evolvers of the main world had different attitudes towards progeny. Many evolvers focused on the path of evolution felt progeny was superfluous. Lin Yuan held a similar view. No matter where or when, personal strength is always the fundamental base. As for offspring, they are just a numerical accumulation. As long as Lin Yuan was there, even if alone, it would still be the most top-tier family nobility. If one day Lin Yuan was gone, even if they had many descendants, it would be of no use. It would be just like monkeys scattering upon the fall of a tree. As the family was chatting, "Master, someone has come to visit." The voice of the digital assistant sounded in his ear. "Who?" Lin Yuan asked. "Kanglan Star Governor Song Wuyang." Inside the main building's reception room, Lin Yuan and Governor Song Wuyang sat facing each other. Truly a once-in-millennia evolutionary genius of our Kanglan Star. Governor Song Wuyang was very pleased with Lin Yuan. Recently in the arena competition, Lin Yuan had dominated the whole event with his 4th rank strength. To think, a 4th rank evolver under 100 years old being born on Kanglan Star was also a nice boost to his governance performance. It was merely by luck. Lin Yuan shook his head. Luck? In tens of thousands of years on Kanglan Star, could Mr. Lin be the only one lucky? Governor Song jokingly said. However, regarding the trial of the Chiquin Star Lord, Mr. Lin need not worry. Governor Song comforted. Lin Yuan not passing the 7-star cave trial was no secret. Though Lin Yuan was a 4th rank evolver at that time, tens of thousands of 4th rank evolvers participated in the 7-star cave trial and very few passed. The 7-star cave trial initiated by the Chiquin Star Lord targeted the comprehensive aspects of the challengers, where strength was only one aspect and not even the most significant. What a pity! Lin Yuan slightly shook his head, displaying a hint of regret. In the arena, Lin Yuan simply showed his 4th rank strength, but the Chiquin Star Lord was able, through his own judgment and the source video sent by the Goddess of Wisdom, to confirm that Lin Yuan had begun to comprehend the rules, ultimately becoming a golden pattern challenger. As for the others, even among beings on the same level as the Chikuin Star Lord, without the source video, one still couldn't confirm the true extent of Lin Yuan's abilities. He was just perceived as an ordinary fourth rank. Such a fourth rank, among the tens of thousands of evolvers entering the 7-star cave trial, was quite common. As a result, it seemed quite normal to outsiders that Lin Yuan had failed the 7-star cave world trial. It was very inconspicuous. Governor Song came this time for. The two exchanged pleasantries for a moment before Lin Yuan took the initiative to ask. "There is something I need Mr. Lin's help with." Song Wuyong paused for a moment, then tentatively asked, "Mr. Lin is the youngest fourth-rank evolver on Kanglan Star. Would you consider our invitation to become an honorary professor at Kanglan Evolution Academy?" "Don't worry, it's just honorary, apart from showing up for the first few classes. Afterwards you can come and go as you please. Even if Mr. Lin leaves Kanglan Star in the future, as long as you don't renounce the honorary professor title, you can always enjoy the many benefits that come with it." After finishing, Song Wuyong carefully observed Lin Yuan's reaction. Kanglan Evolution Academy, being the highest institute on Kanglan Star, gathered the most promising of the younger generation. Since they were the younger generation, they were naturally not very old, and Lin Yuan, as a fourth-rank evolver under 100 years old, had great influence among the youth. If Lin Yuan could become an honorary professor of Kanglan Evolution Academy, it would undoubtedly be a significant inspiration for those students. After all, having their idol in the school, who among those students wouldn't be fully motivated to study and practice? "No problem." Lin Yuan contemplated for a while, then agreed. Primarily because this honorary professor role was really very liberal, having no binding force on him, and even when teaching students it was in the virtual world, no need to leave his estate. Besides, he could also collect a salary of 100,000 civilization coins per month. Of course, with Lin Yuan's current fortune, he wasn't concerned about the money. However, occasionally providing guidance to other evolvers was also a form of self-reflection for Lin Yuan, and with his against heaven's understanding, there might be unexpected gains. Since that's the case, then it's settled. Song Wuyong breathed a sigh of relief. He had been genuinely worried that Lin Yuan might refuse before his arrival. Since he had agreed to become an honorary professor at Kanglan Evolution Academy, Lin Yuan also felt it improper to not even show his face. In the virtual world, the president of Kanglan Higher Evolution Academy, alongside various professors and experts, personally welcomed Lin Yuan. "Professor Lin is young and promising, making us old fellows truly ashamed," Professor Chu said with a laugh. He was also the most senior among the professors, not only a professor but also the vice president. "I never thought I'd live to see such a talented evolver," Mr. Liu couldn't help saying as he sized Lin Yuan up. After chatting for a while, naturally the topic shifted to evolution paths. After all, everyone was either an expert or a professor, regularly engaging with knowledge in the field of evolution, which made it easy to find topics for discussion. And since the topic had shifted to evolution paths, it was impossible not to mention the recently popular Marshall Path evolutionary path. Even on the main world of the Chikuin Star domain, the Marshall Path evolutionary path had caused quite a stir, and as Kanglan Star was the initial world for this path, its popularity was naturally higher. All the experts and professors present had basically purchased the first 3 ranks of the Marshall Path evolutionary path for study. Seeing that Lin Yuan sat there silently while the professors and experts discussed enthusiastically, Professor Chu, not wanting Lin Yuan to feel isolated, took the initiative to ask, "Professor Lin, what are your views on the Marshall Path evolutionary path?" As soon as the question was asked, everyone quieted down. They were all looking forward to hearing Lin Yuan's opinion. They also wanted to hear the perspective of the most talented evolver in the history of Kanglan Star. "My view on the Marshall Path evolutionary path?" A hint of amusement crossed Lin Yuan's face. If it had been any other question, he might not have had an answer. But regarding the Marshall Path evolutionary path, naturally there were no issues. The Marshall Path evolutionary path is based on vital energy. Lin Yuan roughly shared his views, but only limited to the first and second layer. The higher ranks were difficult to articulate merely by speech. The surrounding experts and professors listened intently, nodding occasionally. Once Lin Yuan finished, everyone started discussing in low voices.
Moments later.
Professor Liu and a few other professors discussed for a bit and then spoke up. Professor Lin, your understanding is good, but somewhat one-sided and fails to reflect the true profundity of the Marshall Path evolutionary path. My understanding of the Marshall Path evolutionary path is one-sided? Lin Yuan fell into deep thought. Chapter 192 Rule Crystal. Looking at Mr. Liu, whose eyes were shining brightly, Lin Yuan felt a flicker of oddness in his eyes. When it came to understanding the Marshall Path evolutionary path, not to mention Mr. Liu, even those top-tier evolvers from the human civilization wouldn't surpass Lin Yuan. After all, the Marshall Path evolutionary path was created and pioneered by Lin Yuan himself. How could others compare? It was as if Lin Yuan had set the questions, and he alone decided what the answers were. Could outsiders dare challenge the question setter? Of course, the identity of the founder of an evolutionary path was immensely significant, especially for the currently popular Marshall Path evolutionary path. Naturally, Lin Yuan would not admit his identity here. You should know, in the Chiquan star domain, most evolvers and high-ranking citizens unanimously believed that the Marshall Path evolutionary path was developed as an experimental product by some top-ranked evolver scholar. What is an evolver scholar? They are the absolute elite of human civilization, unchallenged both in terms of personal strength and contributions to human civilization. Those from different species outside human civilization were all desperate to assassinate an evolver scholar. An evolver scholar might have never been to the frontier battlefield, but their influence on it was profound through the evolutionary paths, secret techniques, and even technological achievements they developed. This could even decide the outcome of local wars. Unfortunately, the importance of evolver scholars was known to the different species, and naturally to the human race. Every evolver scholar was tightly protected. Moreover, evolver scholars were not weak, they too had their own means of protection. The different species couldn't even pin down where an evolver scholar was, let alone assassinate one. If Lin Yuan were to expose himself as the founder of the Marshall Path evolutionary path, the different species would certainly launch an assassination without hesitation. Even if it cost several sixth-rank powerhouses who had infiltrated human territories, they would still fiercely target Lin Yuan. Why was the Marshall Path evolutionary path considered an experimental product by an evolver scholar? Why hadn't other evolutionary paths been subject to such speculation? It was because of the high potential of the Marshall Path evolutionary path, which was astonishingly high. A regular founder of an evolutionary path simply couldn't create such a high-level path. Only evolver scholars who transcended through time, possessing vast knowledge and also stood in high positions, could create such potent evolutionary paths. If the different species knew the Marshall Path evolutionary path was created by an evolver who wasn't even 6th rank, they certainly wouldn't allow Lin Yuan to continue to grow. The Marshall Path evolutionary path has the potential to grow into an 8th-layer evolutionary path, and Lin Yuan had a slim chance of becoming the next evolver scholar of human civilization. Assassinating Lin Yuan, even at a great cost, would be much lighter than facing the consequences on the battlefield due to Lin Yuan's research and inventions, which could lead to the fall of untold numbers of alien strong ones. Lin Yuan's thoughts converged. Listening to Mr. Liu's opinions. I think the Marshall Path evolutionary path is not purely based on vital energy but integrates spiritual power, soul power, and mental strength among others. Mr. Liu spoke eloquently. The president of the Kanglin Evolution Academy nodded slightly, feeling that what Mr. Liu said made sense. Of course, this did not mean that what Lin Yuan said was not reasonable. Studying the Marshall Path evolutionary path, everyone has their own views and insights. That's completely normal. Indeed, Lin Yuan's evolutive talent could be regarded as the best in Kanglin Star. He had reached the 4th rank before the age of 100. But precisely because of this, most of Lin Yuan's time was undoubtedly spent practicing. In contrast, although Mr. Liu's evolutive talent did not match Lin Yuan's. In recent years, since the Marshall Path evolutionary path entered the Kanglin evolution ranking, he began his research. A deeper understanding of the martial path evolutionary path was only natural. All right. Both Mr. Liu and Mr. Lin have their valid points. Although everyone has different views, we are all serving human civilization. Mr. Lin, please don't mind. Mr. Liu is like that, sometimes even daring to challenge the president. Professor Chu chuckled, smoothing things over. It's okay. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. He actually didn't mind Mr. Liu's questioning earlier. Mainly because Lin Yuan found it hard to care, as every word Mr. Liu said was praising the martial path evolutionary path, and praising the martial path evolutionary path was essentially praising Lin Yuan as its founder, right? That's good then. Professor Chu nodded approvingly. Returning to the virtual world personal space, Lin Yuan contemplated the discussion he just had with those professors, mentioning their views and understandings of the martial path evolutionary path, which in turn gave him more insights and feelings. Practicing and learning are never done in isolation. Occasionally one must also interact with the outside world. Against Heaven's understanding is based on the depth of understanding and enlightenment Lin Yuan reaches at his level. The more Lin Yuan knew, and the broader his vision, the greater the effect of his against Heaven's understanding. After examining himself, Lin Yuan noticed a little red dot on the founder's virtual world category. Someone contacted me? Lin Yuan instantly understood what this red dot meant. During his fourth traversal, in order to avoid disturbances, he had shut down any means to contact him. Message alert in Founder's World was naturally included. Who would contact me? Lin Yuan was curious. He was a newcomer to Founder's World, knowing no one and having no friends. Soon, Lin Yuan entered Founder's virtual world. Is it the person who posted that post? Lin Yuan's expression became slightly serious. Chapter 193. The problem with this post was, is it better to understand one rule or multiple rules? At the time, Lin Yuan gave an answer based on himself, never expecting a reply from the owner of the post. After all, the post had been published 23,000 years ago. The owner of the post might have long since died. How can one rule govern 10,000? Is it the time Great Tao or the space Great Tao? Lin Yuan looked at the reply from the owner of the post, and fell into deep thought. He used his own Taiji Dao to govern the myriad Daos, but as for the time Great Tao and the space Great Tao, they were too remote for Lin Yuan. Whether it was the rule of time or space rules, both were among the supreme rules, only accessible to existences beyond the 6th rank. Lin Yuan was merely at the 5th rank. Even with his against Heaven's understanding, he could hardly perceive time and space. With the rules mastered as the framework and many other rules as the flesh, naturally, one can govern 10,000 Daos. Lin Yuan thought for a while before voicing his viewpoint. In the distant reaches, a massive research planet. Great scholar Tai was just yawning, his research work was now at a halt, and he was free for the next few decades. A reply. Great scholar Tai immediately perked up. To be informed the moment his question was answered. Great scholar Tai had marked the Founder's World as special concern. He would receive notifications the moment there was any news. Framework? Flesh? Too vague. Great scholar Tai frowned slightly and continued. How exactly do you build your own framework of rules? Central Continent Manor on Kanglan Star. Lin Yuan had just replied when he received a new question. This person is just squatting there? Huh. Lin Yuan scrutinized the inquiry before carefully responding, combining the power of Tai Yin with the power of Tai Yang to form a stable microdomain, accommodating myriad Daos. Is he planning to open a realm? Great scholar Tai marveled, following his brief exchange with Lin Yuan. Great scholar Tai determined that Lin Yuan was not another scholar. To become an evolver scholar, one must at least create and cultivate a new, stable 8th rank evolutionary path. This meant that an evolver scholar was at least a 8th rank evolver. The answers Lin Yuan gave him, while not wrong, didn't seem to come from an 8th rank evolver. At least, the formation of a stable domain combining the power of Tai Yin and the power of Tai Yang was akin to a nascent form of opening a realm. Impressive, preparing for opening a realm before reaching the 8th rank, and without any teacher's guidance, such limitless potential. Great scholar Tai murmured to himself. No wonder the goddess of wisdom guards him so closely. Great scholar Tai glanced around. He was well aware that, as a scholar like him, he was constantly under the surveillance of the goddess of wisdom, as much for protection as to prevent him from acting out. An evolver scholar going mad could have unpredictable consequences. Let's ask a few more questions. Interest piqued. It had been a long time since great scholar Tai had encountered such an engaging junior. Following that, great scholar Tai and Lin Yuan talked for over half an hour. This great scholar Tai watched in astonishment as, through his subtle guidance, even discussed other methods of opening a realm. Great scholar Tai clearly felt that the so-called methods of opening a realm were completely unknown to Lin Yuan, who didn't even know what the methods of opening a realm were. But as the conversation with great scholar Tai deepened, Lin Yuan quickly grasped the understanding of several other opening a realm methods, terrifyingly improving. So much so that even he, an evolver scholar, was shocked. Is he pretending, or does he genuinely not know? Great scholar Tai was somewhat baffled. From Lin Yuan's tone while answering, great scholar Tai was sure he was genuinely unaware and had never encountered the methods of opening a realm. Yet if he truly didn't know, how could his grasp of the principles of opening a realm advance so rapidly? He understood them after just a few hints? A genius, a peerless genius. Great scholar Tai immediately rose and paced back and forth. Has he logged off? Great scholar Tai discovered that Lin Yuan had suddenly disconnected from the virtual world. Kanglan Star, Central Continent Manor. His chat with great scholar Tai had deeply impacted Lin Yuan, forcing him to disconnect and return to the real world to focus on the martial path evolutionary path. With Taiji governing 10,000 Daos. But what if it isn't Taiji? Can it still govern 10,000 Daos? Lin Yuan's mind burst with countless spiritual lights. You have against heaven's understanding, you analyze one Dao that controls all other Daos, and continue to refine the martial path evolutionary path. You have against heaven's understanding, you analyze one Dao that controls all other Daos, and continue to refine the martial path evolutionary path. You have against heaven's understanding, you analyze one Dao that controls all other Daos, and continue to refine the martial path evolutionary path. Lin Yuan fell into deep cultivation. He even blocked most of the external perceptions. Fortunately, Lin Yuan often did this, and his parents had basically gotten used to it. As long as Lin Yuan didn't come out, they wouldn't actively disturb him. Several days later, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. This period of seclusion had a significant impact on him, even causing him to start rethinking the foundations of martial Tao. That person, at least a high-rank evolver, is no weaker than my teacher. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Through just a few conversations, Lin Yuan had learned a great deal. While Lin Yuan continued to ponder, the alert from the smart assistant rang out. Master, you have a delivery. It's sent by Shuntong Group. It's S-level encrypted. A delivery? Lin Yuan was slightly stunned. But upon hearing Shuntong Group and S-level encryption, he was immediately shocked. Shuntong Group, the largest transportation group in the cosmic human civilization, its business scope is not limited to the human alliance. In the cosmic starry skies, human civilization dominates far and wide, encountering numerous enemies, but also many allies and affiliated races. Anywhere the human civilization can reach is within the transport range of Shuntong Group. As for reliability and secrecy, Shuntong Group is an officially endorsed group by human civilization, absolutely confidential and reliable. It is of the same echelon as the Central Galaxy Bank. Of course, Shuntong Group's fees are very high, starting from billions at the very least. The price for S-level encrypted delivery begins at 100 billion. As for how much exactly, it depends on the size of the item and whether it has other functions that affect the use. For instance, transporting a stone versus transporting a planet, the prices naturally differ. An S-level encrypted transport is among the high-level services of Shuntong Group, accompanied by 8 6th-rank evolvers and 1 7th-rank evolver as escorts. Their movements are kept completely confidential. Apart from Lin Yuan, the recipient, outsiders could not possibly know. When did I? Lin Yuan was somewhat hesitant. At that moment, Chikuan Star Lord suddenly sent a message. Ha ha ha, my dear disciple. The thing should have arrived, right? Is it from the teacher? Lin Yuan felt slightly reassured. If he had not figured out who it was from, Lin Yuan would most likely not accept it. But now, teacher, what is it that needs S-level encryption by Shuntong Group? Lin Yuan was a bit heartbroken. That's 100 billion civilization currency. You will know once you have it. Chikuan Star Lord said mysteriously. All right. Lin Yuan nodded. He immediately left the main building. He went outside to the manor. A man dressed in a black uniform was already waiting there. This man appeared very ordinary, no different from other delivery personnel. But Lin Yuan knew, to ensure that the item was delivered into the hands of the recipient, the last person to handle it was often the strongest in the transport team. Shuntong Group's S-level encryption required a 7th-rank evolver to accompany. That is to say, this man in a black uniform was a 7th-rank evolver. Sir. The man in the black uniform was slightly respectful. Being able to afford Shuntong Group's S-level encryption, his status even when surpassing 6th rank was extremely high. Hello. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. He then went through fingerprint, pupil, and soul wave authentication. After confirming that Lin Yuan was the recipient himself, the man in the black uniform handed over a regular black briefcase to Lin Yuan. Ha! The moment Lin Yuan received the briefcase, his expression subtly changed. Chapter 194 Martial Tao shouldn't be so trivial. It's so heavy. Lin Yuan looked down at the black suitcase again. It was only 50 centimeters in length and width, but it weighed at least 10 tons. The handover is complete. Then I'll be taking my leave first. The man in the black uniform gave a slight smile. He turned and left. From start to finish. This was a seemingly ordinary delivery and receipt of goods. If Lin Yuan had not been forewarned, he wouldn't have thought more about it. What exactly did teacher send me? Lin Yuan carried the black suitcase back to the main building. The weight of 10 tons was naturally not a problem for Lin Yuan's current physical condition. Lin Yuan was surprised just now because he did not expect the black suitcase to weigh 10 tons. Let's open it and see. Lin Yuan returned to the underground training ground. Beep. He went through fingerprint, pupil, and soul wave authentication again. The black suitcase slowly opened. What came into view was a fist-sized black gold box. Lin Yuan could tell that the suitcase's whopping 10-ton weight was almost entirely due to this black gold box. Click. With all the previous verifications, Lin Yuan easily opened the black gold box this time. Lin Yuan saw that in the center of the black gold box lay a stone, the size of a pinky fingernail. The stone was crimson. Looking at this stone, Lin Yuan felt as though he was observing a perpetual star. This. Lin Yuan closely observed the fingernail-sized stone. Every detail of it, the textures on its surface, the traces, all stirred a huge tidal wave in Lin Yuan's heart. This is the rule, the essence of the world's rules. Lin Yuan felt excited. If it were another evolver, they might not recognize what this stone was. Even some 6th-rank evolvers might not recognize it. But Lin Yuan was different. Having experienced the Divine Arms world, Lin Yuan was extremely sensitive to the essence rules of the world. This fingernail-sized stone was far from manifesting the essential rules outwardly. In the Divine Arms world, even the smallest piece of a divine weapon, the volume of rules essence it contained, far exceeded that of this stone. But this is the main world. A single hair from an elephant weighs infinitely more than an ant. Not to mention the difference between the main world and the Divine Arms world is more than that between an elephant and an ant. This stone, far from outwardly manifesting essential rules, barely even qualifies as an imprint, merely tainted with a bit of the essence of the rules. Yet to Lin Yuan it felt more significant than all the divine weapons in the divine arms world combined. Hotness, vastness, light. Many essences manifested on this stone. With this stone as a reference for my enlightenment, it will be much easier for me to forge ahead on the martial path, evolutionary path, and break through to the 6th rank. It's like having a math problem that Lin Yuan could only solve slowly before, but now he has a plethora of related reference materials. Solving this problem will definitely be much easier. Even with all these supplementary materials, they are immensely helpful for Lin Yuan in solving the next problem and the ones after that. Teacher. Lin Yuan connected to the virtual world. He arrived at the palace of the Chikuan Star Lord. You're here. The Chikuan Star Lord looked at Lin Yuan with an expectant expression. Have you seen that thing? How do you feel about it? Teacher. Lin Yuan hesitated. It's too precious. I can't accept. Even though Lin Yuan was unclear about the value of items related to the rules in the main world. Solely in transporting this stone, the Chikuan Star Lord had utilized the S-grade encryption of the $1 trillion Shuntong group. It was clear that its value was far beyond $1 trillion. It was even an invaluable treasure that money couldn't buy. You are my disciple, what can't you accept? The Chikuan Star Lord said nonchalantly. Besides, at my current level, items like this are of no use to me anyway. Rather than letting them waste away, it's better to use them. Thank you, teacher. Lin Yuan nodded. He also understood that the Chikuan Star Lord's words were merely to comfort him. Not needing them himself, they could have been sold or even traded for something he needed. How about it? What do you think of that stone? The Chikuan Star Lord continued to ask. It has inspired me greatly. Lin Yuan said earnestly. That's good. A smile appeared on the Chikuan Star Lord's face. Good disciple. If I were to forcefully guide you, it would only restrict and fix your path. That stone, a rule crystal, contains the essence that is a boundless great Tao. If you can fully comprehend the mysteries contained within the stone, surpassing the 6th rank should be no problem. The Chikuan Star Lord spoke. Returning from the Chikuan Star Lord's place, Lin Yuan's gaze once again fell on the fingernail-sized stone. It's so profound. Lin Yuan was almost addicted. The Crimson Stone, related to the Taiyang rule, Lin Yuan studied it carefully, able to continuously enhance his understanding of the Taiyang rule. Just like that, Lin Yuan devoted a significant portion of each day to reflecting on this stone. For the rest of his time, he continued perfecting the martial path, evolutionary path, and pondered how to break through to the 6th rank. Yes, Lin Yuan had long possessed the ability to break through to the 6th rank. But exactly where to start required careful consideration. Once he began the breakthrough to the 6th rank, his soul would actively align with his evolutionary path. This was crucial. If his soul achieved perfect alignment with his evolutionary path, he could step into the 6th rank. Advancing from 5th rank to 6th rank isn't an instantaneous or quick process. It takes time, quickly a few years, or slowly hundreds or thousands of years. Many 5th rank evolvers at their peak struggle with soul alignment, unable to step into the 6th rank for hundreds or even thousands of years. Chapter 195. Virtual World. Kanglin Evolution Academy Large Classroom. Classes had not yet begun, but thousands of students had arrived early, taken their seats, and were waiting eagerly. Have you heard? The one lecturing us this time is Lin Yuan, the champion of the arena competition. Lin Yuan himself. Nonsense. Could I have come so early if I hadn't heard about it? That's Lin Yuan we're talking about. In the tens of thousands of years of Kanglin Star, he is the evolver with the strongest evolutionary talent who stepped into the 4th rank before the age of 100. Yeah, being a 2nd layer evolver before I'm 100 would satisfy me. You're thinking about 2nd layer? The thousands of students began to discuss softly. The students who could sit in this classroom were the most potential-filled students of Kanglin Evolution Academy and represented the future hope of Kanglin Star. At this moment, everyone was filled with anticipation, waiting for the arrival of the lecturer. Whoosh! Just then, a young man appeared on the podium. The next moment, the classroom fell completely silent. All students fixated their eyes on the young man. "Hello, everyone," Lin Yuan casually greeted. As an honorary professor at Kanglin Evolution Academy, Lin Yuan enjoyed the many privileges and benefits of a professor's level, and although he was only an honorary professor, he still had to at least deliver 1 or 2 lectures. Half an hour later, Lin Yuan had finished citing the textbook material verbatim. He then began to ask the students about the problems they encountered on their evolutionary path. "Mr. Lin." A girl with a ponytail raised her hand. "You ask?" Lin Yuan nodded. "Thank you, Mr. Lin." The ponytailed girl was somewhat surprised. Many students had raised their hands simultaneously, yet Lin Yuan had chosen her. "Mr. Lin, my development pathway is the Marshall Path evolutionary path." The ponytailed girl volunteered her evolutionary path. This was quite normal, as every evolutionary path had distinct features, and revealing the specific path one was cultivating helped the teacher better frame the subsequent questions. "Marshall Path, huh?" Lin Yuan nodded slightly. Nowadays, the Marshall Path evolutionary path had become the most popular evolutionary path on Kanglin Star. Of the thousands of students present, at least 1/10 were pursuing the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Of course, these students had just started practicing, and the vast majority were not yet ranked. I see that later in the Marshall Path evolutionary path, it requires the comprehension of both Tai-Yin and Tai-Yang forces, but I am naturally slow to sense these 2 kinds of power. Does this mean I'm not suited for the Marshall Path? The ponytailed girl timidly asked. With this question, the other students instantly perked up their ears. They, too, wanted to know the answer to this question since Tai-Yin and Tai-Yang energies belong to the higher echelons of energy, not perceived by just anyone. Most evolvers were still more sensitive to the basic energies of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. This question. Lin Yuan looked around. If he had to answer, Lin Yuan could indeed provide one. That would be that everything possesses yin and yang, such as the thunder attributes, which also have distinctions of yin and yang, along with metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Even if you do not have the ability to comprehend Tai-Yin and Tai-Yang, you can still sense what you are capable of perceiving, such as the power of gold, and after comprehending the power of gold entirely, delve into its aspects of yin and yang, subsequently leading to Tai-Yin and Tai-Yang energies. However, this answer, though understandable to Lin Yuan and likely other 5th or 6th rank evolvers, most of the unranked evolver students present would not understand. Not only would they not understand, but they also wouldn't be able to achieve it. Given that, Lin Yuan didn't want to say it. "I am also researching this problem. Once I have the results, I will definitely let you know." Lin Yuan spoke. "All right." The ponytailed girl didn't find it strange. Although Lin Yuan's evolutionary talent was considered the best on Kanglin Star, compared to that mysterious scholar who had founded the Marshall Path evolutionary path, he naturally fell short. It was perfectly normal for Lin Yuan not to know the answer to a question that even that mysterious scholar hadn't explained. After completing the lecture, Lin Yuan disconnected from the virtual world. Sitting cross-legged in the underground training field, the question from the ponytailed girl during the class had plunged Lin Yuan into deep thought. For a long time, Lin Yuan established the Marshall Path evolutionary path. It was entirely based on his own perspective. First tier chapter. Second layer chapter. The Yin-Yang chapter in the second layer chapter. Third rank chapter, Tai-Yin rule, Tai-Yang rule. Fourth rank chapter. Fifth rank chapter, Tai-Yin primordial spirit, Tai-Yang divine spirit, Taiji primordial spirit. Everything was completely based on himself. But who was Lin Yuan? He possessed against heaven's understanding, could infer 10-fold, 100-fold from one fact. Lin Yuan could understand, could realize, could absorb. Could others do the same? For instance, the Tai-Yin Tai-Yang Taiji, the content of the second layer chapter of the Marshall Path evolutionary path. But wanting to grasp Taiji, let alone Taiji, even just Tai-Yin or Tai-Yang, was exceedingly difficult for others. In the Dragon Tiger world, those who had realized the Tai-Yang pole extreme and the Tai-Yin pole extreme were heavenly masters unmatched in hundreds to thousands of years. And they still needed the true martial sword to achieve this. The cultivation environment of the main world, although far superior to the dragon-tiger world, did not provide many resources for the most ordinary citizens. From the second layer chapter onwards, martial arts are no longer applicable to ordinary citizens. Lin Yuan's expression remained calm, his thoughts churning. With the current martial path evolutionary path, the second layer chapter required realizing one of the Tai Yin or Tai Yang. If one couldn't realize it, it would be very difficult to advance further. One could foresee countless citizens would be trapped at this step. Lin Yuan slowly closed his eyes. Martial arts should not be so limited. At that moment, numerous insights surged up in his mind. Recently, in the founder's virtual world, he conversed with that mysterious existence who had left behind posts from 23,000 years ago about controlling myriad things other than Taiji. The other myriad Dao techniques were quickly utilized by Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan started from the second layer chapter reintegrating martial arts, and removed the restriction that progress required solely Tai Yin or Tai Yang. From now on, martial Dao cultivators were not confined to Tai Yin or Tai Yang alone. As long as one could sense it, powers like metal, wood, water, fire, earth, thunder, ice, and many others were all acceptable for continued cultivation. Starting from the second layer, one would determine a path that suits oneself, and by the fifth rank, condense out the corresponding attributes primordial spirit. The primordial spirits mentioned here are not only Yin God and Yang spirit, but also golden primordial spirit, water spirit, and wood spirit are possible, endless and infinite, inclusive of all things, just as Lin Yuan was perfecting the martial path evolutionary path. Boom! His soul suddenly began to vibrate intensely. Immediately his aura began to change, slowly transitioning towards the martial path evolutionary path. Didn't expect that. This is indeed the best way for me to break through to the sixth rank. Lin Yuan took a deep breath. Perfecting the martial path evolutionary path, freeing it from the limitations of Tai Yin and Tai Yang, directly allowed Lin Yuan to seize the best opportunity to break through to the sixth rank. This opportunity many fifth-rank ultimate evolvers might not catch even in tens to hundreds of years. Even the previous Lin Yuan was hesitating about how to break through to the sixth rank. But now everything was very clear. This natural breakthrough was undoubtedly the most perfect path to stepping into the sixth rank. A month later, Lin Yuan emerged from seclusion. Breaking through from the fifth rank to the sixth rank wasn't something that could be achieved in a short time. It required the soul's slow transformation and transition. Rest for a while. Lin Yuan planned to balance work with rest. He was not like those evolvers who were nearing their life's limit. At his current age, Lin Yuan was only 20 years old, with plenty of time to enjoy life. So many people looking for me? Lin Yuan opened the information panel and discovered that during his seclusion many people had visited him. But because he was in seclusion, they had been dealt with by his smart assistant. Yet still, 7 or 8 people insisted on meeting Lin Yuan. They were still waiting for him to come out. Let's meet them then. Lin Yuan clicked approve. Instantly there appeared a middle-aged man with golden hair in front of him. Puan Star Domain, Xiangwen Group. Zhou He greets Mr. Lin Yuan. The middle-aged man with golden hair slightly bowed and said respectfully, Xiangwen Group. Lin Yuan thought for a moment. He immediately recalled that this group was a rather famous one in the Puan Star Domain, with a 6th-rank Fallen Star Warrior in its ranks. The Puan Star Domain was a star domain next to the Chikuan Star Domain, and due to its proximity, it had frequent trade interactions with many powers in the Chikuan Star Domain. Speak. What's the matter? Lin Yuan spoke casually. Our Xiangwen group sincerely invites Mr. Lin Yuan to become a member of our next tournament's preparatory team. As long as Mr. Lin Yuan agrees, the conditions are up to you, the middle-aged man with golden hair said. You mean, let me join your group and then participate in the next tournament? Lin Yuan glanced at the middle-aged man with golden hair. Chapter 196. The Heiyu Family. Indeed, with Mr. Lin's talent and ability, Kanglan Star was always too small. Just a middle-grade life planet. My Xiangwen group has a 6th-rank Fallen Star Warrior in residence. That's the stage truly suited for Mr. Lin Yuan. The blonde, middle-aged man smiling, continued, "Moreover, Lord Xiangwen holds Mr. Lin in high regard, and might even personally offer some guidance in the future. Lord Xiangwen is the 6th-rank Fallen Star warrior behind the Xiangwen group. The guidance of a 6th-rank evolver is a great opportunity for most evolvers. 6th-rank evolvers possess the power of Fallen Stars. From their high positions with a mere few casual tips, they could provoke sudden enlightenment in 4th or 5th-rank evolvers." The blond middle-aged man believed that Lin Yuan would find it hard to ignore this condition. Lin Yuan indeed had great potential, having entered 4th rank before the age of 100, with a good chance to become a 5th-rank evolver in the future. But that was about it. Thinking of progressing further and breaking through to the 6th-rank level still seemed a remote hope. Therefore, the guidance of a 6th-rank evolver was certainly not to be missed. "Sorry, I'm not interested in joining other factions." Lin Yuan shook his head and said, "What a joke." According to the blond middle-aged man, joining the Xiangwen group would require signing numerous contracts. It even required Lin Yuan to personally go to the headquarters of the Xiangwen group for scrutiny. And the conditions offered by the blond middle-aged man, while attractive to ordinary 4th-rank evolvers, what about to Lin Yuan? Furthermore, Lin Yuan's true identity, the peak master of the Red Kuan lineage, was almost akin to the status of a prince in an empire, and not just any prince but one with real power. If he joined the Xiangwen group, it would be akin to fighting in arena competitions for other star domains. How absurd is that? "Mr. Lin, won't you reconsider?" The blond, middle-aged man's face slightly changed. Although the Xiangwen group was not in the Qikuan star domain, it was still a major force with a 6th-rank Fallen Star warrior at its core. Even if Lin Yuan had other options and wouldn't join the Xiangwen group, there was no need to outright say it. Mincing his words a bit would help save some face for everyone. "As I said, I'm not interested, and I won't reconsider." Lin Yuan shook his head. His primary goal now was to step into 6th rank as quickly as possible. All other matters unrelated to this breakthrough were just trivia. Okay. Lord Xiangwen would probably be quite disappointed to learn of this. The blond, middle-aged man, his face turning a bit ugly, stood up intending to take his leave. "What's the matter? Is your Lord Xiangwen going to come over here and teach me a lesson?" Lin Yuan spoke. In the Cosmic Human Alliance, laws are robust. The more powerful the evolver, the greater the restrictions they face. Even those esteemed evolutionary scholars high above could not act wantonly, let alone a 6th rank. If that Lord Xiangwen dared come to Kanglan Star, revealing any intent to act against Lin Yuan would report him to the Goddess of Wisdom. "Can't beat you? Couldn't I still report you?" Of course, Lin Yuan felt it unlikely that Lord Xiangwen would come. It was even possible that Lord Xiangwen was not even aware of who Lin Yuan was. "I hope Mr. Lin's path of evolution will always be smooth." The blond, middle-aged man's face was ashen, implicitly suggesting that Lin Yuan should not look to the Xiangwen group for help in the future. "Get out." Lin Yuan directly kicked the blond, middle-aged man out of his personal room. Once Lin Yuan stepped into 6th rank, he could openly reveal his identity as the peak master of the 13th peak of the Red Kuan lineage. By then, forces like the Xiangwen group would be too eager to curry favor with Lin Yuan. Personal space. Lin Yuan sat alone on a wooden chair. Arena competitions. Lin Yuan pondered with a thoughtful expression. Arena competitions are one of the hottest, most attention-grabbing activities within the Human Civilization Alliance. And being hot and attention-grabbing means enormous traffic. This traffic leads to a series of industry chains involving massive amounts of money. Why would groups like the Xiangwen Group or other powerful financial oligarchies specially train teams to participate in various arena competitions? Could it really just be for honor or something like that? Of course not. If an evolver can advance to a certain rank in the arena competition like top 100 or top 10, they're sure to attract a lot of attention. At that time, just placing an advertisement or printing a logo of some group or oligarchy on their clothing could generate enormous popularity. And advertising is just the most common method of monetization. Each session of the arena competitions also features betting houses set up beforehand. Before the competition, you choose a competitor you think will win. If they do, you'll receive a significant sum of money in accordance with the odds. Of course, to ensure fairness, under the scrutiny of the goddess of wisdom, the possibility of fixed matches is nearly eliminated. It is for this reason that all major forces and financial oligarchies are very keen on finding potential evolvers from obscure middle-grade life planets and then supporting them to participate in star system and star domain level arena competitions. These evolvers from middle-grade life planets, with low exposure and no systematic training, if they receive support from a major force, their strength can significantly improve in a short period of time. When the star domain level arena competitions begin, they will enter the arena as dark horses. After all, in the eyes of most citizens, a player who has already gained some fame and has completed 10 consecutive wins, 20 consecutive wins, battling against someone who has never been heard of before, most citizens would definitely bet on the former to win. Besides the two methods mentioned above. Chapter 197. The tournament offers many ways to profit, and the most long-lasting is to build a fanbase and cultivate star evolvers. Within the Cosmic Human Alliance, the top star evolvers have countless fans, many of whom are second-generation members of powerful forces. The influence of their every action is astonishing. So, I've already qualified as a dark horse in the eyes of those corporate conglomerates? Lin Yuan stroked his chin, shaking his head slightly. Indeed, in the previous tournament, even though Lin Yuan only showed a portion of his strength, it was 4th rank. A 4th rank evolver under 100 years old might be somewhat common on prosperous higher-grade life planets. But on a middle-grade life planet like Kanglan Star, it might take tens or even hundreds of thousands of years for one to appear. The education, cultivation, and resources of middle-grade life planets are far inferior to those of higher-grade life planets. In such an environment, reaching 4th rank, whether it be by fortuitous encounter or luck, isn't much weaker than the top evolvers from higher-grade life planets. That's why Lin Yuan caught the eye of the Xiangwen group, who specially sent someone to invite him. The goddess of wisdom turns a blind eye to such things because the invitations from major forces and conglomerates might constrain the evolvers, but they also cultivate them. And, constrained by the laws of human civilization, the contracts these conglomerates sign with evolving geniuses aren't too excessive. Even in cases of breach, the penalty isn't exorbitant. Lin Yuan thought to himself. With gains come sacrifices, and this is the unwritten rule accepted by the Human Alliance. Seeking to take advantage of one's genius status, ignoring contracts and agreements, that would not be supported by the three goddesses. My current soul compatibility. Lin Yuan's consciousness returned to reality, and he began to feel more intently. Is probably about 80% complete. At this rate, I'll reach full compatibility in at most 2 years, enough to officially step into 6th rank. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. 6th rank holds a special significance for every evolver. Below 6th rank, no matter how powerful, lifeforms are still terrestrial and need the environment within a planet to survive. Once they leave the planet and come into the starry void, it becomes hard for them to continue living. But at 6th rank, one can roam the starry sea, and all 6th rank evolvers are thus called star lifeforms. Furthermore, 6th rank is a phase of qualitative change in strength. Why did Lin Yuan only need to cultivate to 6th rank to openly reveal his identity as the peak master of the Red Kuan lineage? Because evolvers at 6th rank are difficult to assassinate. At the very least, their means of ensuring their safety are far superior to those at 5th rank. Typically, unless absolutely necessary, different species wouldn't try to assassinate a 6th rank evolver, as the cost is too great, equivalent to the cost of cultivating dozens of 7th rank powerhouses. And that's still without any guarantee of killing the 6th rank evolver. The conversion speed of soul compatibility is unstable. It might be fast initially and slow down later on, or it could be slow at the beginning and speed up later. My current compatibility transformation is still normal. Lin Yuan continued his observation. But soul compatibility can be interrupted before reaching 1/10, allowing the choice of another evolution path. After stepping into 6th rank, the cost of changing evolution paths skyrockets. But Lin Yuan, strictly speaking, has not yet stepped into 6th rank, still being within 5th rank. Among the many evolution paths I've mastered, the most powerful is undoubtedly the Xianhuang evolutionary path. If I were to use this as the direction for soul transformation, Lin Yuan pondered for a moment before immediately dismissing the thought. Even if the Xianhuang evolutionary path is strong, it isn't created by Lin Yuan. Using it as the fundamental evolution path might seem beneficial in the short term, but over a longer timeline it might not be advantageous. Lin Yuan feels more confident in the martial path evolutionary path. The Xianhuang evolutionary path can be studied and even practiced concurrently, but it must not become the foundation. All other evolution paths, including the Xianhuang evolutionary path, can only serve as nourishment to perfect the martial path evolutionary path. Let's continue to perfect the martial path evolutionary path. Lin Yuan's mind sank back into the martial path evolutionary path. In Lin Yuan's latest vision, the martial path evolutionary path has transcended chapters like the Tai-Yin chapter, the Tai-Yang chapter, and the Yin-Yang chapter. Various attributes of power could all be integrated into the martial arts evolution system. Whichever attribute an evolver is good at, they can enter into martial Tao to cultivate. Martial Tao shouldn't be so meager, it should be infinitely expansive. Lin Yuan found that when perfecting the martial path evolutionary path in this direction, the speed of his soul's compatibility transformation would gain a certain increase. Next, while perfecting the martial arts evolution system, Lin Yuan examined the reddish stone sent by the Qikuan Star Lord. In his spare time, he refused the invitations from the financial conglomerates of various star domains. Aside from the Xiangguan group who noticed Lin Yuan's potential to become a dark horse, other powers took note as well. In the interstellar age, any slightly powerful force has its own think tank, tirelessly planning and taking actions that align with their interests based on information about human civilization and even different species. As a 4th rank under 100 years old from a middle-grade life planet, Lin Yuan, with great potential and a relatively low price tag, is extremely welcome. As for these forces' invitations, Chapter 198. First, Lin Yuan still managed to make time for a meeting. He clearly expressed his attitude, but in the end, the frequency was simply too high. Lin Yuan simply stopped meeting with them, leaving it to the intelligent assistant to cope. If it had been announced initially that I had passed the 7-star cave test, Lin Yuan slightly shook his head. If it were only like Fang Qing, merely passing the test and becoming an official member of the Red Kuan lineage, perhaps these powers wouldn't have invited him so insistently. After all, as an official member of the Red Kuan lineage, where is the sense in working for other powers? The Red Kuan lineage itself is the most powerful force. However, doing so would require Lin Yuan to take a spaceship battleship to the Qikuan main star with those like Fang Qing who had passed the test. This was the normal procedure for each batch joining the Red Kuan lineage. Lin Yuan was able to stay on Kanglan Star all this time, entirely because he was the peak master of Shursan, enjoying many privileges. Even the gift from the Qikuan Star Lord had to be delivered through the express efforts of the Shuntong group, costing hundreds of billions of civilization coins. On this day, Lin Yuan had just finished cultivating. The voice of the intelligent assistant then came through. Master, the person who is visiting this time comes from the Heiyu family, namely the subordinate of Heiyu Ao, who is the 3821st son of Heiyu Mo. The Heiyu family? Lin Yuan's eyebrows slightly furrowed. The Heiyu family is a force within the Qikuan star domain, ranking within the top 5 among the many powers beside the Red Kuan lineage. The strongest of the Heiyu family, Heiyu Mo, is an existence that surpasses the 6th rank. The Heiyu family. Lin Yuan pondered for a while. Let's meet. He could ignore other powers and financial groups, partly because most of them are 6th rank forces, and Lin Yuan, on the path to becoming a 6th rank evolver, saw it only as a matter of time. Secondly, most invitations were from groups from outside the Qikuan star domain, with no need for excessive intimacy. But the Heiyu family was different. As a native force of the Qikuan star domain, when Lin Yuan would step into 6th rank and reveal his identity, he might have to interact with them. Whoosh! Lin Yuan connected his consciousness to the virtual world. His personal space. Lin Yuan agreed to enter. An old man dressed in a black suit, as elegant as a nobleman, appeared before him. Bei Zhao, on behalf of my young master Heyu Ao, greets Mr. Lin Yuan. The old man in the black suit, Bei Zhao, had a very low posture, and his tone was slightly respectful. He then stated the terms for inviting Lin Yuan to join under Heyu Ao. I'm not really interested in arena battles at the moment, sorry. Lin Yuan tried to soften his tone as he spoke. Is that so? The expression of the old man in the black suit, Bei Zhao, showed no change. After standing up to take his leave, he disappeared on the spot. Quite reasonable? Lin Yuan slightly nodded. The representatives of those powers who had invited him, upon being rejected, most would usually hint at or outright threaten him. Inside a splendid palace, Heyu Ao was seated on the throne, deep in thought. At that moment, the figure of the old man in the black suit, Bei Zhao, appeared. Which tier of contract did that Lin Yuan choose? Heyu Ao said casually. Before sending Bei Zhao to invite Lin Yuan, Heyu Ao had set 5 tiers of contracts. The higher the tier of the contract, the more support for Lin Yuan and also the greater the restrictions. He left it to Lin Yuan to choose any tier he desired. Young master. The old man in the black suit, Bei Zhao, bowed slightly. Lin Yuan has declined the young master's invitation. The old man in the black suit said softly. He declined my invitation? On the throne, Heyu Ao felt slightly taken aback. He looked down at the old man in the black suit, Bei Zhao. Chapter 199 Target. 6th rank. Young master. I have made all the terms clear. But that Lin Yuan he still refused. Says he's not interested in the competitive arena. Bei Zhao, the elderly man in black dress, immediately said. Is that so? Heyu Ao rose from the throne, frowning slightly. He believed he had been more than generous, offering very high terms in all 5 tiers of the contract. Especially the lowest tier of the contract, which required only 100 years of Lin Yuan's service to Heyu Ao, would enable him to receive ample resources for nurture. For a 4th rank or 5th rank evolver, 100 years is not a long time, and to serve Heyu Ao, that is a blessing most ordinary evolvers could only dream of. Yet Lin Yuan had refused. This was an outcome Heyu Ao had never expected. Heyu Ao, exceeding 6th rank within the Heyu family and a direct descendant of Heyu Mo, didn't know how many evolvers would take the initiative to pledge loyalty to him. But Heyu Ao didn't regard them highly. Now, having finally taken a liking to Lin Yuan, the latter didn't reciprocate the interest? What exactly is going on? Has the reputation of my Heyu family fallen to such a degree? Heyu Ao was somewhat vexed. Kanglan Star, Central Continent Manor. Lin Yuan emerged from the underground training ground and called over Ho Ming, the captain of the guard troops. Greetings, Mr. Lin. 6th rank evolver Ho Ming said respectfully. I want to ask you about something. Lin Yuan sat in his seat, lightly tapping the armrest with his right hand. That member of Heyu Ao's forces had left directly after being refused by him, which piqued Lin Yuan's curiosity. Are you familiar with the Heyu family? Lin Yuan looked at Ho Ming and inquired. The Heyu family? Ho Ming was slightly stunned, then nodded, saying, I know them. One of the 5 major powers in the Chikuan star domain. The strongest force in the Chikuan star domain is undoubtedly the Red Kuan lineage, which the entire star domain was named after. Beneath the Red Kuan lineage there are 5 major powers, and the Heyu family is one of them. When the Star Lord had not long taken over the star domain, Heyu Mo brought his family, crossing several star domains, to settle in the Chikuan star domain. The Star Lord, acknowledging Heyu Mo's plight, handed over some of the trade in the star domain to the Heyu family, which paved the way for them to become one of the 5 major powers today. Ho Ming spoke rapidly. Although he was an evolver secretly cultivated by the Red Kuan lineage, he was not oblivious to the outside world. Moreover, having lived long enough, he was aware of some information that had ceased to be common knowledge. I see. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. He understood now. In summary, that Heyu Mo was nothing more than the teacher's lapdog. Have you heard of Heiyu Ao? Lin Yuan continued to inquire. If he remembered correctly, the one who had invited him to join was Heiyu Ao. Ao. Homing thought for a moment and replied, "Is he Heiyu Mo's youngest son?" Heiyu Mo had thousands of descendants, and it was only due to the exceptional memory of evolvers that one could remember so many names. Especially the names of the Heiyu family, which sounded quite similar, were easy to confuse for outsiders. Right? Just now, he invited me to join his battle team to participate in the arena competition, Lin Yuan said, shaking his head. But I refused. That Heiyu Ao dares. Ho Ming clicked his tongue in amazement, for Lin Yuan was one of the 13 peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage. Even Heiyu Mo, the Ding Hai Divine Needle, would have to show respect upon meeting Lin Yuan. I guess it was Mr. Lin's performance in the arena that caught Heiyu Ao's eye, hence his initiative to invite. After pondering for a while, Ho Ming said with a hint of emotion, "The Heiyu family is a massive force, but the competition is also fierce. As Heiyu Mo's youngest son, Heiyu Ao was born thousands or tens of thousands of years later than his brothers. Even with the family's support, it's hard for him to catch up to his brothers, so he set his sights on the arena competition. If he can support a dark horse into the top 100 of the star domain level competition, Heiyu Ao will undoubtedly earn a massive fortune. At that time, his position within the Heiyu family will rise along with his profits, and if he gains the favor of Heiyu Mo, inheriting the position of the family head of the Heiyu family might not be impossible." Ho Ming whispered. "I see." Lin Yuan nodded slightly. Those major families and forces appeared glamorous on the surface, but in reality, the internal struggle was extremely severe. It was even to the extent of dying if one didn't advance. Unless Heiyu Ao completely gave up and didn't care about power or wealth, he would have to compete with his thousands of brothers. It wasn't only the Heiyu family. The competition within the Red Kuan lineage was also extremely ruthless, with numerous standards set amongst the official and core members. Failed to meet the standards? Then step aside and let someone who can meet them take your place. Lin Yuan felt less strongly about this because he started at the level of a peak master, immediately standing at the very top of the Red Kuan lineage. Most of the Red Kuan lineage's hereditary resources were open to Lin Yuan. His task wasn't to compete with other disciples, but simply to continue his cultivation. Of course, Lin Yuan's such treatment was also won through competition, millions of heirs competing in the seven-star cave world. Even though Lin Yuan's starting point wasn't the highest, and there were 3 individuals with red patterns above him, in the end, only Lin Yuan became one of the 13 peak masters. By the way, the outside world doesn't have a very good opinion of that Heiyu Ao, who will stop at nothing until he gets what he wants. Mr. Lin, since you've rejected his invitation, I'm afraid he won't let it go easily. Chapter 200. If Heiyu Ao really goes too far, Mr. Lin can have the other peak master step forward. Then Heiyu Mo wouldn't dare to disobey the peak master's orders. Ho Ming reminded in a low voice. In front of the Red Kuan lineage, the Heiyu family is subservient and humble, which isn't to say that the Heiyu family isn't strong. Rather, it's because the Red Kuan lineage is too powerful, so the Heiyu family can only act in this way. But without the Red Kuan lineage, the Heiyu family would be the overlord overlooking a star domain, and of the 5 major forces, the other 4 wouldn't want to offend the Heiyu family unless absolutely necessary. I understand. Lin Yuan nodded. Only, unless it's the last resort, Lin Yuan wouldn't ask his senior brothers to intervene. At the level of the Heiyu family and the peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage, every action was watched by countless eyes. If Lin Yuan, hiding his true identity, was practicing on Kanglan Star and got involved in the vortex of the peak masters and the Heiyu family, it could lead to certain beings deducing something. There are myriad evolution paths in the main world of the human alliance, among which is a type named divination. This type of evolution path can deduce conclusions from known information. The appointment of the 13 peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage just took place, and countless forces from outside are guessing the true identity of the 13th peak master. If at this time, a peak master intervenes and suppresses the Heiyu family, It would be a very obvious signal to those who are proficient in the divination-type evolution path. Even if the senior brothers were extremely secretive, if in the end Heiyu Ao inexplicably backed off, there would still be loose ends. Of course, those who evolved through this type of divination usually lack combat power and are mostly employed by the think tank of some major forces. Why exactly did Lin Yuan refuse me? Is it because the conditions I offered weren't high enough? On the throne, Heiyu Ao was still pondering. During this time, while he was recruiting other evolvers, he couldn't stop thinking about Lin Yuan. He couldn't help remembering when he left his family to venture outside. His own father, Heiyu Mo, once gave him two choices. The first option was to take 10 trillion civilization coins from the family treasury. Afterward, the Heiyu family wouldn't provide much support, and if he wanted to return to the family and run for the position of clan leader, he must turn these 10 trillion civilization coins into 100 billion cosmic coins. The conversion rate between civilization coins and cosmic coins is 10,000 to 1. Meaning, Heiyu Ao needed to earn 100-fold of 10 trillion civilization coins in wealth to qualify to return to the clan. The second option was to let the family's think tank plan out a complete business map for him. Heiyu Ao only needed to eventually make 10 trillion civilization coins to return to the family and compete for the position of clan leader. In the end, Heiyu Ao chose the second option. And the think tank of the Heiyu family planned a business map for him, rooted in arena competitions. The business map was detailed, with the think tanks of the Heiyu family painstakingly picking 223 evolvers under 100 years old. These 223 evolvers all have potential not discovered by ordinary people. As long as Heiyu Ao signs these 223 evolvers and trains them for future tournaments, they are very likely to shine. And among these 223 evolvers, Lin Yuan was listed. Lin Yuan. Heiyu Ao echoed the think tank's evaluation of Lin Yuan in his mind. Just over 20 years old, he stepped into 4th rank and is in the mid to late stage of the 4th rank. Trained and nurtured, he'll reach the pinnacle of the 4th rank before the next tournament, with hopes to step into the 5th rank before reaching 100 years old. With the strength of the 5th rank, participating in the star domain level arena competitions, it's quite easy to break into the top 1,000. Heiyu Ao, must have this Lin Yuan. Heiyu Ao looked down at his subordinates and said, I've heard that geniuses are proud. You went to invite him and were rejected. But if I personally invite him, might I succeed? Young master. Dressed in a black suit, the elder Bei Zhao was slightly stunned. I'm not sure, but if the young master personally invites him, that Lin Yuan would surely be very moved. With Heiyu Ao's status, personally inviting an evolver with no background and no power, the latter would indeed be moved. After all, a personal invitation signifies importance and gives face. Virtual world. A small world specially opened up. All 12 peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage had gathered here. At that moment, a figure appeared. It was Lin Yuan. My fellow seniors, my cultivation delayed me, and I lost track of time. Lin Yuan's tone was apologetic as he apologized immediately. Since becoming the 13th peak master of the Red Kuan lineage, to maintain the bond among the peak masters, the eldest senior brother took the initiative to invite the other peak masters to gather together from time to time. Since it is in the virtual world, it's very convenient. A connection of consciousness is enough, and everyone usually arrives on time. Ha ha ha, our little junior brother is truly remarkable. He's not yet 100 years old and has already reached the 5th rank. Stepping into the 6th rank is just a matter of time. The eldest senior brother laughed heartily. Lin Yuan's advancement to the 5th rank was no secret, known to the Chikuan Star Lord and all 12 senior brothers. Our junior brother doesn't possess any special physiques or bloodlines, so breaking through to the 5th rank before the age of 100 is truly rare. The second senior brother nodded in approval. Within the Cosmic Human Alliance, there indeed are many inconceivable geniuses. Not to mention 5th rankers under 100, even 6th rankers have appeared before. But these geniuses all have various physiques and bloodlines. Some are born at the 3rd or 4th rank, or even the 4th or 5th rank. Their starting points are so high that there is no need for comparison. But Lin Yuan is different. Even though the 12 peak masters had not seen Lin Yuan in person, they knew from what they heard from the Chikuan Star Lord that Lin Yuan's physique and bloodlines did not have anything special. Given the pace of our junior brother's cultivation, he could attempt breaking through to the 6th rank in at most a few decades. Before breaking through to the 6th rank, our junior brother must be careful to choose a fundamental evolution path. The more suitable it is for oneself, the higher the soul's resonance, and the faster the transformation, the eldest senior brother earnestly advised. It might even aid significantly in the breakthrough from the 6th rank to the 7th rank in the future. Lin Yuan was firm in his heart. The eldest senior brother had always emphasized choosing the evolution path that was most suitable for oneself to transform through soul resonance, not necessarily the strongest. And what evolution path could be more suitable for Lin Yuan than the martial path evolutionary path from among the vast array of evolution paths mastered by human civilization? Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today.